Hey guys, this is KLAGER. Today, we are lucky enough that TP-Link sent us their Wi-Fi 6 router, which is the Archer AX23. So, what are we waiting for? Let's check it out. Before we look at what's inside this box, let us have a rundown on the features written in the box. It says here that it is a Wi-Fi 6 router which has faster Wi-Fi speed up to 1.8 gigabytes. With reduced latency, it has OFDMA, which means it provides greater capacity for more simultaneous connections. And refined security as it uses WPA3 and full gigabit ports. To make it much simpler, all 4 ports we have with the router are gigabit ports. At the back of the box, we can see more information about what we saw in front of it. We can also see the Wi-Fi mesh capability of the router. It's Smart Connect, where it has only one single SSID for 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz, where the router automatically assigns your device to the best available band for optimum connection. There is also gigabit internet access and has its management system for parent control and guest network. At the sides of the box, we can see the router parts, features, and specs. Though it is not stated on the box, the router can be set up as a mesh with another compatible router and an access point besides its default wireless router setting. As we open the box, we get the Archer AX23 router, power adapter, RJ45 Ethernet cable, and quick installation guide. Before we talk about the setup process, let's go first to the Archer AX23 looks. We have here a mixed black glossy and matte finish on it. The glossy parts are fingerprint magnets, so be careful when touching it. But don't worry, it is easy to wipe the fingerprints that you made. There are air holes at the top and some of the sides. In the front, we have the LED indicator, and at the back, we have the power port, power button, 1 port, 4 gigabit ports, and the buttons for WPS or Wi-Fi and reset button. We also have 4 antennas here. Underneath are tons of holes again for ventilation and the information about the router system. Let's set it up by connecting our Archer AX23 router from our ISP provided router. We will use the LAN 1 of the ISP provided router to the Archer AX23 1 port. We can set up the Archer AX23 via phone by downloading the TP-Link Tether app or going to the usual PC route that we access by means of our browser and typing its default IP address. For this video, we will proceed with the phone app setup method. Also, I will be showing the whole browser interface of the router because it is full over there. Upon opening the TP-Link Tether app, we will be asked to log in. So simply just create an account if you don't have one. To start with, we will press the Add button in the upper right part of the screen and we will choose Wireless Routers, select Standard Routers, then it will run us down the things we need to do and just press Next. Now, it will be asking us to connect to our router. The next thing you will be doing is to check on the Wi-Fi setting and connect with the router. The password is underneath the router. Once connected, let's go back to the app and press connect. Now we see our Archer AX23 router. Proceeding on the next step, here, we just have to create a password for our admin access for the router. Next is the connection type. We will be selecting the dynamic IP. We can change its MAC address, but we will choose the recommended option. In this part, we will now set up the Wi-Fi name and password. And that is it. We are already done setting up our Archer AX23 router. We just need to reconnect on our Wi-Fi because we set up its new Wi-Fi password. There is now a prompt that we can now bind the router to our TP-Link ID so that we can still access it even if we are not connected to our router. Let's check the app interface for the router. You can see here how many devices are connected to this router. This is a great way if you want to know what devices are connected with it. In the Tools tab, we can also see all the things we can do with the Archer AX23 router. We have one mesh which will set up with another one mesh compatible router and extender for it to make a one big network. Thanks to this, you don't need to worry about transferring to another Wi-Fi when you are in another part of your house. QoS, or Quality of Service, allows you to set priorities for your devices. For example, you are playing online games and you want your ping to be low and stable. You will simply configure it here. Parental control, where we can select the devices we want to allow this feature. This can be done by blocking or allowing only the sites that the device can access. Besides that, you can also set allowed time to have the internet connectivity for the set of devices or even set its internet time limits. We also have network diagnostics, which is a simple way to test your network if you have internet. Guest network is where there will be a separate Wi-Fi that you can configure to have it access to your local network or not. Share Wi-Fi is where you can see all the Wi-Fi SSID and password. This is where you can find its QR code where people can scan it to connect to the Wi-Fi. The TP-Link ID is where you can give other people access or manage your router settings. LED control is where you can enable or disable its LED status for our router. You can also enable its night mode, which will turn off the LED lights for a specific time. Its operation mode is where you can change its router settings if you want to be wireless router or access point. You can also schedule a reboot for the router. Now let's hop on to our computer to see the full interface and settings of the router. We can access it by typing 192.168.1.1 on our browser and encoding the password that we set a while ago. Now we can see here that this is the same with the app, but it is more detailed on this one. We can see the clients and our router settings. Anyway, let's go to the advanced setting and see the things we can do. Upon checking, additional things we can do by using the browser of the router is to configure the DHCP server. We can also do the NAT forwarding or port forwarding, same as well to configure its VPN server for the router and the IPv6 configuration. And these are the things we can do to this router. So now we can jump on testing the performance of the router. We will be running a speed test and comparing its speed to our ISP provided router. Our internet is 600 Mbps up and down, so let's test it now. I'm just near the routers and we are now connected with the ISP provided router 5G Wi-Fi, and we are getting 170 Mbps download and 124 Mbps upload. Let's switch it now to the Archer AX23 Wi-Fi and test it again. And now we have 192 Mbps download and 335 Mbps upload. That is quite huge even if we are both near with the routers. Now let's test it on another location. I'm currently on the ground floor of our house and the routers is on the third floor. This house has thick solid walls. Our ISP provided router is now using 2.4G Wi-Fi and we are getting a 3.27 Mbps download and 24.1 Mbps upload. On our Archer AX23 Wi-Fi, we are getting 121 Mbps download and 198 Mbps upload. It is still fast compared to the ISP provided router that drops in Wi-Fi speed. Also, we have a better Wi-Fi stability connection despite the fact that the LAN connection is much more stable than it. Besides that, it is better to use an aftermarket router because of the features we get with it and the controls we have compared to the ISP provided router. So what do you think about the TP-Link Archer X23 router? Let me know by writing your thoughts about this by commenting it down in this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.